Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Anytime you hear this tune, of course, you know it is all about insurance. It's time to delve and put everything aside as we talk best practices in insurance so that we can guarantee protection for our lives and for our family. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. These are words of George Bernard Shaw. This morning on the program, we'll be paying tribute to one woman who has made change a constant feature of her growing adventure through life, and that has made her to stand tall in the industry. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM pays tribute to Mrs. Yetunde Ilori as she bows out as the DG, as the Director General of the Nigerian Insurers Association, handing over the change or doing the change of baton for another person to take over leadership of that great association. All right, we'll be talking about her years as the leader of that association, which is the umbrella body for insurance organizations in Nigeria. And we'll be speaking with one or two people that know her, at least, as she, bows out this week. All these are much more be part of the menu. If you can keep us company from now through 10 o'clock, you're welcome. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, at any point in time, if you have any issues with your underwriter, you can always connect with the Nigerian Insurers Association, and you can do that making use of this number 0700 030 4678. That's 0700 030 4678. And of course, by the time you do that, somebody will always be there to pick up the phone and respond to you. All right, we're going to take a short break right now. One or two messages. When we return, we're giving you traffic updates, and then we can start our conversation in earnest.
Mr. Man! Oh, see what you have done now! You have damaged my car!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I hope you have a good motor insurance.
Yes, I have a third-party motor insurance that will take care of all the repairs.
In fact, the benefits of third-party motor insurance have increased. First, the limit to claims for damages to third-party vehicles has been increased. Secondly, when you get your third-party motor insurance, you automatically get an ECOWAS Brown card, which means your vehicle now has insurance cover across all West African countries. And if ever it is liable on Nigerian roads for damages to a vehicle from any West African country, the premium to be paid for third-party motor insurance for private car owners, it increased from 5,000 naira to 15,000 naira to enable insurers adequately bear the cost of repairs whenever the need arises. Buy your motor insurance. Please log on to www.niip.ng or visit any licensed insurance company today. This is a public enlightenment message from the Nigeria Insurers Association, NIA.
Before, na so wahala. With law enforcement agent.
Yes, so hey, NIA don't upgrade the NID platform. Now from your phone, you fit confirm your motor insurance certificate one time. Make sure say you no get wahala with our law enforcement agent them. Just dial *565*11# one hand and follow the direction. It go show whether na fake or correct insurance you get. It no hard and na sharp. But you to make sure say you buy your motor insurance from only registered insurance company to avoid wahala. *565*11#. This message now from Nigerian Insurance Association, NIA.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM Insurance Digest is the program we set for the conversation. Quickly taking you through the Papa Corridor movement from Mile 2OK in what Outer Wharf is looking pretty good at the moment. From there, connecting UBA, still have it good. Even though we have a corpse that has been reported there, and I understand it's been there since yesterday. All right, so SEMO, the attention of SEMO is needed there for evacuation. Apart from that, all the way through RRS, Sunrise, Trinity, up to Coconut, and Tinkan Island, first and second gate, looking pretty good and moving very fast this morning. Tinkan Island, second gate up to Liverpool. talking about the bridge there, and Liverpool underneath the bridge down to Glaxo is equally looking good. All right, then. So if your movement on the road is not the same as we have narrated, you can always connect with us. We have a live camera infrastructure here that would also, take us through all of that. On Insurance Digest, I did tell you that we'll be paying tribute to the outgoing Director General of the Nigerian Insurers Association, Mrs. Yetunde Ilori. She has served her mandatory terms as the leader of that organization. And it was through her innovation that a program of this nature, which is devoted to insurance education, has been put in place, and we're running 4 quarters already. All right, let's just connect with a few people. I have in the studios here this morning, Femi Ogundeji is a live underwriter of so many years standing, and he's here in the studio with me. Mr. Ogundeji, nice to have you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
I'm fine.
All right. And joining us on the phone line, I have the incoming Director General of the Nigerian Insurers Association. That's Mrs. Bola Odukale. She's going to be taking us through this. Madam, nice to have you join us. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Victor.
And you're welcome to Traffic Radio.
Thank you.
Great. All right. So this is the week of Batons, and we've titled this one NIA's Seamless Change of Leadership Batons. How do you feel that you're coming in as a new Director General of that institution?
Thank you very much. I feel so great. I feel privileged. It's a position, in our industry, a position of privilege. It's a position that gives you opportunity to express yourself and also to impact on the industry. So for me, it's a big privilege given the opportunity to contribute my quota at this point to our industry, to the expansion of our industry, and to the growth of, the industry that had worked for over the years.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the lady that you are taking over from. She has been in charge for the past 7 years. How would you describe Mrs. Yetunde Ilori?
Thank you, Mrs. Yetunde Ilori. Mrs. Yetunde Ilori, I've known her for several years, over 2 decades now that I have known her in the industry. And I've known over the years relating with her and first of all looking at her from afar then, back in the days, then of course gradually getting closer to her as we're growing in the industry. I know Mrs. Yetunde Ilori as a professional by excellence. I know her as a well-grounded and a visionary leader in this industry. She's a force to be reckoned with. I know her as a very upright woman. I will not compromise on standard. When you talk of standard, you talk of Mrs. Yetunde Ilori, and anything she puts her hands into, you can be sure that excellence is just there will be mark of excellence on anything she does. And Mrs. Ilori will not do anything in half measures. I must tell you, and whatever she does must exude excellence at every point in time.
Right.
She's a very hardworking woman with a very strong vision for the insurance industry.
Right.
And she has a very strong passion for continuous knowledge, acquisition, youth development, and of course, professionalism and innovation. Thank you.
All right. So now that you are going to be, more or less wearing her shoes, so to say, are you having some goose pimples already?
Naturally, when you are taking on the position of somebody who has done great things ahead of you, and naturally you have these, good pimples, and you would wonder if these shoes are not too big. But I know, with the kind of grooming I've also had over the years within the industry, and of course on the council of the Nigerian Insurers Association, and also working closely with her closely worked with her at some point or the other in the last 6 years or thereabouts in the industry. I'm confident that, some of the things I've been able to glean from her, and of course, my exposure and the experience within the industry will come to bear on my output as I move forward and I take over, that position.
Right.
We'll continue to see her, the leader and the leadership that is within her. Will continue to be there to also serve as a guide as I move on on the journey.
Right. So more fulfilling for you is the fact that you're taking over from a woman, because she said it here last week, that there is no success for her without a successor, and she's so proud that a woman like her is taking over. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel very good about it. It's quite heartwarming. Mrs. Lori is one of the people who've looked up to, as a leader, as a mentor in the industry over the years. And I can assure you that, I've learned a lot through her and from her as well. And I feel great taking over from her.
Right.
And I'm not the woman type of, I'm not the kind of a person who would always say woman. But I can tell you, women, when we do things with excellence. I can assure you.
All right.
We do things with touch of excellence. Yes.
All right. It's nice speaking with you. Thank you so much for paying this tribute to her then.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Oteri. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right. She is the incoming Director General of the Nigerian Insurance Association, Mrs. Bola Odukale. And I have with me in the studios Femi Ogundeji. Femi, at what point did you get to meet Yetunde Lori in your insurance journey?
Okay. Thank you, Victor. I've known Mrs. Lori for, well over 2 decades.
2 decades?
Yes.
And you've been around for over 3 or 4 decades? How long have you been around in the insurance industry?
I've been around for close to 4 decades.
Wow, that's such a long time.
Yes.
So, and you've known her for about 20 years.
Yes.
All right. Can you precisely remember the particular year you came across her?
Well, I can't precisely say, but there were so many things that brought us together. Number one, Mrs. Lori, on an informal level, it happens to be a senior in my secondary school days.
You mean it? That's
in fact, she left my school before I entered.
Wow.
But along the line, we got to know we attended the same school.
The same school. What school is that?
Comprehensive High School,
Ayetoro. She was so proud of that school.
Yes.
She did mention it.
So each time she sees me, she will just say, up school. So
right.
she happens to be a passionate woman that over the years I observed from afar. Then along the line, I had an issue and I had to meet her. We had an issue with the regulators, and I had to meet her to get some counsel from her. And she told me her standpoint. She told me they had such issue, and she was able to guide me through.
That was before she became the DG?
Long time before becoming the DG.
Wow.
So she was able to guide me, and I took the steps she gave to me, and I was able to scale through that challenge with the regulators.
Right. All right. So a lot of things seem to stand out from what everybody seems to be talking about Mrs. Ilori. But first off, let's even have an idea of who she is and how she became the Director General of the Nigerian Insurance Association. Let's take a listen to this tribute, and I will be back to connect with others as we pay this glowing tribute to the outgoing Director General of NIA.
My name is Yetunde Ilori. Prior to joining NIA as the Director General, I was with AXA Mansard as the Managing Director CEO, and I left voluntarily in year 2017. That was July. I honestly left. I wanted to go and do my own thing, but because I've risen to the position of the Deputy Chairperson of the association, my colleagues, I would say, prevailed on me, especially the then Chairman, Mr. G.F. Ekoa. At the same time, the Director General of the association was just elevated to the position of Deputy Commissioner. So they needed to fill the vacancy. And because I was not really going to do anything insurance again, I was asked to come in and run the association.
We live in a free world. I whistle down the wind, carry on smiling.
the choice, and I have no regrets choosing insurance. I actually went to the University of Lagos and I studied actuarial science. I mean, the easiest way to go was to join insurance. So I started my career from a company owned by the then Oyo and Osun states, Trans Nigeria Assurance in Ibadan. I later came to Lagos to join my family, and that was 1997. I saw it as a challenge coming to NIA, knowing the industry itself faced with many challenges. But I made up my mind as soon as I got in here to make a difference. And I'm happy today the differences are obvious. Whatever I have achieved over the 6 years plus, I give all the glory to God because He's the one that enables. It's a place I was coming to every last Thursday of the month, as at that time to have council meeting. But resuming as the Director General of the association, the first thing that happened to me, I was dissatisfied. And I looked at the office where I was to sit and I said, no, I can't work from here. And I got back to them at Axam and I said, please don't give out my office. But with the cooperation of the council members and the plans that we had in place even before I left as a council member, I was allowed and given that leverage to say, so what's going to happen? You pull down the building and you put up another one. Used to have a duplex here, a house converted to office. So when I had the opportunity, the first thing we pulled down the building and we now have the edifice that we have in place, which is the 6-story building that everyone is proud of. I remember coming in here, one of the things that the project that was perfected was the trade portal with Central Bank. Before, when people import stuff, there's no way matching with which the banks relate with what insurance covers that they have in place. But we're able to set up a portal that is integrated with the trade portal being managed by the Central Bank, through which banks can verify the authenticity of the marine covers that people present to them.
All right then, so life is indeed a flower, and that is what Yetunde Ilori represents as the Director General of the Nigerian Insurers Association. Now, somebody says this morning, if you are walking the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you will make progress. Perhaps these are things that are really guided Yetunde Ilori in a 7 years adventure as the leader of the Umbrella Association that covers all insurance companies in Nigeria. All right, we've heard from a man and a woman. These are people who have been in industry. Let's speak with somebody else who's going to be talking us through all of this. Lanre Ojuola is Director of Operations at the Nigerian Insurers Association. He's joining us on the phone line this morning. Nice to have you. Good morning, Mr. Ojuola.
Yeah, good morning, Victor.
And how are you doing?
It's nice to be with you. I'm okay, I'm fine. And you?
Very good. All right, we heard from the incoming Director General, that is Bola Odukale, who spoke copiously about Mrs. Ilori. You are a man and you've been working with a woman that stands very tall in the industry. How was your experience working with Mrs. Ilori?
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. I must say, if I have the whole of today, I don't think it will be enough for me to tell you about my experience, working with her. But I must say that as a person, I would say I'm extremely blessed, to have worked with Mrs. Ilori in the last 6 years. She came on board in 2017. I joined the association in 2018. So I just had the privilege of being with her for just 6 months and 6 years. But within that 6 years, I would say I've worked with an Amazon. A woman that I would say is equal to 10 men.
Wow.
How she's able to do it, honestly, I don't know. And even till today, I still say, well done to her. She's done, extremely well. Repositioning the association, to be able to stand, to our eye above, just like every other association that we have in the financial services sector.
Right.
She brought a whole lot of touches here and there that we can say the association witnessed significant growth during her tenure. We did so many things together.
Let's talk about some of those things because I know she said there in that tribute song that the first thing was the edifice. Now we have a 6-story building representing NIA. Apart from that, what are some other things that you can remember that she had done under her tenure?
In terms of stabilizing the market, for us to have a common voice, and not just voice, but to have a common ground of which we operate, is also very paramount, very germane. She's tried as much as possible to institute a portal, which we call the Nigerian Insurance Industry Portal.
Right.
Which is a portal that is made available for the industry to be able to sell compulsory insurance products at the tariff rate, which means, our member companies or operators cannot sell below the tariff rate as approved, by the extant law. And this is a paradigm shift, from, addressing the unhealthy competitions that we have in our industry.
All right. So I'm sure if I allow you to really, talk so much, a lot can be said about her. But is she a difficult person as a leader?
No. I wouldn't agree. For me, I would say she's amazing. Not because I'm privileged to work close, with her. She's a woman that has 3 personalities all combined into one. Apart from the fact that she's a thoroughbred professional, well experienced, well versed. She's also a mother and also a pastor. So when you have those 3 combinations in one single individual, you can be sure of what you're just going to get.
Right. So
not just love, not just affection, but also the kind of leadership that you need to be able, to achieve your purpose.
Right. So as she hands over the baton of leadership this week, what will you miss most from Yetunde Ilori's departure?
I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that she's leaving. In all honesty, I'm dumbfounded. But I must say, that is life. There is time for everything. We meet a part to meet. But the good thing is, she's still within the industry. So as I don't see her leaving the industry, let alone even leaving me as an individual.
Right.
But what I will miss most about her is her style of leadership. She's that person that I would say you don't get to know that something is not possible with her. Okay. She has this undying faith in everything that she's committed to.
Right.
And I might be wrong, but based on my own experience, I'm yet to determine that task that she has set out to do that she didn't accomplish within the 6 years that we've worked together.
All right, then. It's nice connecting with you, Lanre Ojuola. Thank you so much for linking up with us this morning.
My pleasure, Victor. Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. He's Director of Operations. And you too. Director of Operations for the Nigerian Insurers Association. Iju Shaga corridor this morning around Fagba Junction. Very busy, but moving. And we can tell you traffic managers are there precisely from Alamutu to Fagba Junction. And Fagba proceeding towards Jonathan Coker, also busy as well. Amala roundabout, good. And then we can tell the return journey is busy from Jonathan Coker down to Fagba Junction. Mr. Ogundeji, Yetini Lori is a woman in a male-dominated industry. And a lot of times people say women rise to positions due to influence, due to materialism and all of that. What would you say about this woman? Do you think her journey has gone through that route at all?
Well, I see Mrs. Ilori as a thoroughbred professional. I see her as somebody who has done so much for the industry within a short period of time. And I also see her as somebody who has given the industry that kind of publicity it deserves within a very short time, because I tell you, publicity has never been like this for the insurance sector.
Right.
Under our tenure, we were able to really move out, talk to the public, show what insurance can do. Then under our tenure, we were able to collaborate with other industries as well. Our exceptional leadership and dedication to the advancement of the cause of the industry will be missed. But I know the incoming person,
DG.
yes, he is equally a very good one.
All right, then we're having some reactions that are coming in on this program. Insurance Digest is a program, and this morning on the program, we're paying tribute to the outgoing Director General of the Nigerian Insurers Association. All right, we did tell you that there was a breakdown around mile 12 earlier on. That's from the Demuri end, but I understand that articulated vehicle has been moved to the side. All right, 08099120777 is the line that you can use to send in your contribution. Like this one. This one says, Mrs. Ilori, your passion and commitment to the industry have been evident in all you do. Best of luck in your future endeavors. Collins eBay sending that one in. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. Thank you for your years of service and for making insurance accessible and understandable for so many. God bless you. This is from Yinka Alabi. Another one here says, good morning, Victor. I just want to thank the DG and her tireless work. Okay, let me get that. Say, good morning, Victor. I just want to thank the DG for her tireless work in educating the public about insurance and okay, let me get it right. And to let her know that she has made a lasting impact in the industry. We will miss her. We will miss her insightful contributions on the show. Sake is sending that one in. All right, let's get some more insight about this woman and get personal with her as well. In terms of challenges, are there times that you felt, look, I don't think I'll be able to continue. Maybe I just throw in the towel and surrender it as a DG. Did you have those kind of challenging times?
I never had such a moment. If I'm going to talk about myself, I think I'm a fighter. I don't see anything as impossible. In fact, I believe in when things get tough, the tough gets going.
So let's talk about you as a woman in a male-dominated industry. So how has that played out for you? Did you see that as an advantage, or did you consider that as a weakness?
Operating in a male-dominated environment, honestly, I don't see it as a challenge. I've never seen gender as something that should deter anybody from achieving what you want to achieve. All my life, I must say, I've had support of the male gender. They've given me opportunities, they recognized my competence, and they allowed me to fly. Right from the time that I was small, I remember in my secondary school, I have about 3 friends. We've always pulled ourselves together and we'll give the males in our class the fight of their lives and tell them that you are not going to get first to 4th position.
Let's go personal now. So yesterday, Lori, in our personal times, in our private room, what we should be doing?
Well, the first thing that I need to say and share, I'm not trying to create any sentiment. I'm a widow.
Okay.
And I made up my mind as soon as my husband passed on about 14 years ago, because I see it as a scar And I said, this car, I must turn to star. So the first thing, he was an overseer of his church. So I immediately, under the leading of the Holy Ghost, took up the challenge, the mantle of leadership. So if I'm not doing insurance, I'm doing church.
Wow. So you're a pastor?
I'm a pastor.
Great.
And I'm not just a pastor, I'm a general overseer.
Ooh.
And I'm not just, and it's not just about church alone. I love nature. So I love my plants. So, tendering them gives me a kind of satisfaction and fulfillment.
Wonderful. That means you must
so I love flowers around me.
So you must have a garden in your house.
I do not only have a garden, I am also into farming.
Wow.
I have fish ponds. I'm a fish farmer. I have a farm around which I have palms.
Palm trees?
Palm trees planted.
Wow.
And so I make oil. I do fish.
You're so industrious.
Oh. I just need to keep myself busy.
When do you have the time?
I wonder.
Leading an organization of this nature.
I wonder. I ask myself. I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
So,
you must be a superwoman, really.
Yeah. So I run a foundation for widows. I love. I host them quarterly, and it's been awesome identifying with them. And like one of the questions that you asked me, honestly, whatever obstacle you have shouldn't limit you. You should, just be strong for yourself. Right. Nothing is not the end of life. And, there must have been some things deposited in you along the journey of life that will have prepared you or toughened you for whatever you have to face.
Wonderful.
So I also take interest in bringing up other
young people,
young women. I love to see them thriving. I love to see them fulfilling, maximizing or optimizing their potentials. A lot of potentials deposited in all of us.
All right, that's Yetunde Ilori. We're trying to get personal with her, but let's just connect with Soji, who all the time seems to work. He's always there working with Yetunde Ilori all the time. Soji is controller technical. Soji, nice to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. Good morning, our listeners.
Right. So quickly, we've heard from so many people speak about the industrious personality of Yetunde Ilori. You work with her on a day-to-day basis. How would you describe her?
Seriously, I don't know where to start. Words will fail me. But I must say this, I call her angel. Not only angel of the church, angel of the industry. She's an amazing woman. Let me first of all say congratulations, because God is taking her to a higher platform. And it's been a remarkable achievement. And I pray the Almighty God will go before her and perfect everything for her. She is, when you talk about her, her leadership is amazing. Her leadership style is amazing. Her trust, her confidence, the way she shows, especially let me use myself as a living witness, she believes in your ability. She brings the best out of you.
Right.
There's one word I always hear from her. She will always say this word, Soji, it's not possible. Anytime she gives you a job, she doesn't want to hear it's not possible. She wants you to. So I'm always go extra mile to get things delivered. I've worked with her for 6 years, and it has been an awesome one. For me, if I'm going to just describe her, I would say she's a trailblazer, a visionary, a role model. I call her a life coach.
And I think it's a very, very good way to terminate that. Life coach, that means knowledge, certainly is something she's always imparting on people. All right. So, Jenny, nice connecting with you as we round off the program this morning. It's nice hearing from you as well. Okay, then. So, Femi Ogundeji, so I will leave you to have the last word. Where do we go from here? Where does the insurance industry go from here? Of course, she has proven that she's a great leader. She's moving on to another arm of the insurance industry, which is the institutional arm, perhaps the educational arm. But where do we go from here with the insurance industry?
Well, from my hand, I feel the insurance industry will just continue to make progress. There cannot be a relapse. We cannot go back. We will always move forward. And I tell you, the industry is yet to be where it should be, but there are brilliant people, intelligent people in the industry that are working tirelessly to push the industry forward.
All right, then. It's nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then. So even as we pay a tribute to Mrs. Lori, and as she departs as the Director General of the Nigerian Insurance Association, we wanted to know that, as they say, knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise for progress in every society and in every family. That is what you stand for, and that is what you have been able to do for the insurance industry, bringing it and making it much more accessible to the public. There are lots of comments that are coming in here, but we do not have time to take them. Maximum thanks to Mike James, who has produced the program. Support from Temidayo Anthony, Okpayemi Shonunke, Deborah Bolodioku, as well as our executive producer, Tayo Akonle. I must say a very big thank you to Soji, who has been able to put all of this together, working tirelessly behind the scene. He's controller technical for the Nigerian Insurance Association. We leave you with this from Mrs. Ilori as we pay this glowing tribute to her.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
NIA as the umbrella body is like the voice of the underwriters of the insurance companies. Under that umbrella, their interest is protected. They reach out to the government and other government agencies through NIA, because you can't bring about 60-something people together and then you ask every one of them to be talking.
Celebrate.